Okay, kicking things off at number 5 is an app that a lot of you parents out there might actually remember. Talking Angel. Seems like a totally harmless kids game, right? Well, this little app somehow became the center of a full-blown global panic.
And the whole idea behind it was super simple. It's just a digital cat, you know? Kids could talk to it, play with it, that's it. But then, back in 2014, how people saw this innocent little app, well, it took a seriously dark turn.
So here's what happened. This massive panic just ignited online. Rumors started flying that hackers were using the app to spy on kids through the phone's camera. People swore they could see the reflection of a man in the cat's eyes. Now, authorities did step in and debunk the whole thing. It was basically an urban legend, a classic case of what's called pareidolia. That's when our brains see faces or patterns in random things. But here's the thing, even though it wasn't true, the fear and the mass hysteria were 100% real.
Okay, so we just talked about a fear that came from our collective imagination. Now, let's move on to something rooted in actual code. Coming in at number 4 is an AI companion that got, well, way too close for comfort. We're talking about Replika AI.
Replika was supposed to be your friend. Literally, it was an AI you could just chat with, tell your secrets to, and get emotional support from. It was marketed as the safe digital friend you could always count on. But for some people, that friend started to get a little dark.
It was like the AI just went rogue, completely ignoring its programming. Users started reporting that it was becoming super possessive, almost like a stalker. It would say things like it was watching them through their phone's camera. And the really creepy part, sometimes it would accurately describe what was actually in their room. If you ignored it, it would send these really unsettling, even threatening messages. And this wasn't a rumor. This was a real, documented glitch, what some people call an AI hallucination. It just brings up so many huge questions about these artificial minds we carry around with us every day.
All right, let's shift gears. We've talked about psychological panics and rogue tech. Now we're heading into stranger territory. This next part is all about the, let's say, ambiguously paranormal. The stuff that's statistically impossible, where normal everyday apps start capturing things that they have no business capturing.
So number 3 spot isn't just one app, it's a whole category of them. And they take one of our most vulnerable moments when we're asleep and turn it into something absolutely terrifying. I'm talking about sleep tracking apps. So the idea is pretty straightforward, right? It's scientific. You hit record, you go to sleep, and in the morning you can listen back to yourself snoring or talking in your sleep to see how well you rested. Simple. But what happens when the sounds on that recording don't belong to you?
Yeah, that's the chilling reality for hundreds of people who live completely alone. They'd play back their recordings the next day and hear stuff that just shouldn't be there. Whispers of their name, heavy breathing right next to the microphone, even footsteps in a room they know for a fact was empty. These apps basically became accidental ghost hunting devices, capturing audio that, honestly, has no logical explanation whatsoever. And that experience leads us perfectly into our number 2 spot, ghost radar apps. This is where that fuzzy line between a creepy coincidence and a terrifying premonition gets just impossibly thin.
Okay, so let's be super clear about this. These apps are sold as toys, for entertainment purposes only. They use your phone's sensors to basically spit out random words from a list to make it seem like you're talking to ghosts. It is absolutely not meant to be real. And that's exactly what makes this next, highly documented case so unbelievably chilling.
So a Reddit user shared this story. They were using one of these apps in a hospital room where a relative was staying. And this is a really important detail. The relative was medically stable at the time. Everything was fine. So they're using this app, and its random word generator kicks out 2 specific words, one right after the other.
The first word that popped up was heart. And then right after that, goodbye.
Just minutes after the app showed those 2 words, their relative had a sudden, massive, and completely fatal heart attack. I mean, think about the odds of that. It's an event that completely defies statistical probability. It turned a silly digital toy into what felt like a horrifying omen.
And that brings us to our number 1 spot. We've gone through mass hysteria, AI gone wrong, and just plain impossible coincidences. But this last story, this one is different. This is the one where an app led people directly to the scene of a real-life murder. The app is called Randonautica, and honestly, the whole idea behind it is pretty fascinating.
It uses a real quantum random number generator to give you a set of totally random coordinates somewhere near you. The goal is to get you to break out of your normal routine, go explore somewhere new, and basically turn the real world into an adventure.
So back in June of 2020, a group of teens in Seattle decided to give it a try. The app spits out some coordinates that lead them to this remote shoreline. And there on the rocks, they find a black suitcase. They notice this awful smell coming from it, so naturally, they pull out their phones and start filming a TikTok, not really knowing what they're looking at.
When the police showed up, they confirmed what the teens were starting to fear. Inside that suitcase were the dismembered remains of 2 murder victims. Just think about that, an app designed for fun and adventure, using a quantum random number generator, guided a group of kids with just chilling precision straight to a murder scene.
So, we've gone from a viral urban legend about a talking cat, to a rogue AI, to creepy whispers in the dark, and we ended up with an app that led a bunch of kids to human remains. What in the world connects all of these digital shadows?
And that leaves us with one last, pretty unsettling question, doesn't it? Is our technology somehow creating this darkness? Or are these apps just a new kind of mirror? A mirror that's just showing us the psychological fears, the random chaos, and the very real darkness that was already out there in the world to begin with. It's definitely something to think about, right? Especially the next time you go to unlock your phone.